Hey there, nostalgia lovers! Welcome to Nostalgia Area. Did you know that in the 1970s, men wore platform shoes so high they were practically walking on stilts? Or that women wore tube tops made out of yarn? Yes, yarn. Welcome to the weird, wild, and wonderfully wacky world of 1970s fashion, where polyester ruled, prints screamed, and fringe was more than just a detail. It was a lifestyle. In this video, we're diving into the most bizarre fashion trends that didn't just define the 70s generation, they dared future generations to look back and ask, what were they thinking? So stay tuned as we explore outrageous outfits, risky footwear, and the disco-era disasters that somehow became fashion gold. Whether you lived through it or you're just retro-curious, this trip through style history is going to be groovier than a Saturday night fever dream. Let's kick things off, literally, with bell-bottoms. These pants were tight in the thighs and flared out like a megaphone at the bottom. Originally worn by sailors in the 1800s, bell-bottoms were reborn in the 70s as a symbol of rebellion, funk, and freedom.
Optical art has spread to the jackets, topping bell-bottom slacks.
Everyone wore them. Rock stars, school kids, even your tax accountant probably had a pair. And the wider the flare, the cooler you were. Tripping over your own cuffs was just part of the look. Ah, yes, the jumpsuit. Fashion's answer to, what if I wore pajamas to the club, but make it disco? These all-in-one outfits were glam, loud, and easy to boogie in, until you had to use the bathroom.
Casual V-neck sleeveless jumpsuits are the perfect combination of comfort and style.
Popularized by Elvis Presley and later by disco icons like Donna Summer, jumpsuits came in every color imaginable, often with sequins, metallic threads, and deep V necklines. They were basically wearable glitter bombs. Disco wasn't just music, it was a lifestyle, and the fashion, blinding. Think satin shirts unbuttoned to the navel, tight pants with no breathing room, and enough sequins to outshine the mirror ball.
It's 3 in the morning in Manhattan, and still at Studio 54.
Polyester was the fabric of choice, despite being roughly as breathable as a plastic bag. But hey, if you weren't sweating under strobe lights and head-to-toe sparkle, were you even living? Want that Studio 54 look? We've linked some satin disco shirts and vintage bling necklaces that'll turn any hallway into a dance floor. The 70s were not a low-rise decade. Pants, jeans, skirts, they all hiked way up, practically brushing your ribcage. And they were often paired with crop tops, because fashion loves contrast.
High-waisted denim.
Stylist Debbie Wright is here to show us.
High-waisted styles made legs look miles long and torsos almost non-existent. Add a wide belt the size of a dinner plate, and boom, you're a fashion icon. If Grandma's Afghan had a wild night out, it became a 70s crochet top. These hand-knitted garments came in the form of halters, bikinis, dresses, you name it.
In about 1 or 2 days, and even a beginner can crochet this top.
Comfort? Debatable. Breathability? Depends on the size of the holes. But if it was colorful, scratchy, and vaguely resembled a doily, it was hot, literally and figuratively. The 1970s were a golden age of headwear, where no ensemble was truly finished without a crowning glory. Literally. Oversized floppy hats? Check. Newsboy caps? Check. Crochet beanies with pom-poms? Also check. This was the decade that refused to play it safe, where your hat wasn't just an accessory, but a full-blown personality indicator.
Pretty early spring, so if it's a little bit cool out, you can still wear it then.
Hats could signal that you were a laid-back flower child, or a disco queen, or both at once. The 70s understood that if you were going to commit to a look, you had to go all the way. And that meant your headpiece had to be just as loud, just as bold, and just as unapologetic as the rest of your outfit. Still lingering from the late 60s? Fringe and suede took center stage in jackets, vests, and bags. It was the look of someone who just left a commune and is heading straight to a dive bar.
Fringe vest. They are very popular right now.
When you moved, the fringe danced. When it rained, the suede cried. But that didn't matter. Fashion is pain, and this look was pure Woodstock swagger. Imagine a kaleidoscope had a meltdown on your shirt. That's psychedelic fashion. Loud, trippy, sometimes slightly nauseating, but undeniably bold.
Blending 1960s fashion. Today, I'm focusing on psychedelic fashion.
Swirls, tie-dye, paisley, and color clashes weren't fashion faux pas. They were fashion commandments. You weren't trying to blend in, you were trying to vibrate on a spiritual level. You know what's better than regular shoes? Shoes with 4-inch foam soles. Platform shoes gave wearers both literal and metaphorical elevation, and frequently twisted ankles. Men wore them, women wore them.
These are like sneakers on another level. They're kind of very lightweight.
David Bowie made them intergalactic. The higher the heel, the closer to Studio 54. Want to walk tall? Grab a pair of retro platform shoes or boots in the links below. Just add disco balls and caution tape. In the flamboyant fashion landscape of the 1970s, few accessories signaled effortless sophistication or deliberate decadence. Quite like a silk scarf knotted loosely around a man's neck. The scarf could be paisley, floral, or boldly striped, tied in a casual drape, a rakish ascot, or a proper cravat spilling from an unbuttoned shirt collar. It was a look that blurred the line between dandy and rock god, equally at home on a Parisian boulevard or backstage at a stadium concert. Male-style icons like Mick Jagger and Bryan Ferry turned scarf wearing into high art, pairing theirs with billowy satin shirts, crushed velvet blazers, and trousers so tight they might as well have been painted on. The key was nonchalance, as if the scarf had just happened to land there, though everyone knew it was a carefully calculated touch. Sunglasses in the 1970s weren't just practical accessories for shielding eyes from the sun, they were bold fashion statements that screamed individuality. Oversized, tinted lenses in vibrant shades of amber, deep purple, or bubblegum pink gave wearers a futuristic, almost otherworldly look, as if they just stepped off a spaceship.
Choose from thousands of styles and colors in the latest fashion frames.
The frames were massive, often stretching past the temples, while the lenses provided near total coverage, wrapping around the face like a pair of stylish blinders. Whether you were a celebrity or just someone running errands, these sunglasses declared, "I'm incognito. Maybe I'm famous. Maybe I'm just dramatic." They turned even a quick trip to the grocery store into a scene straight out of a glamorous paparazzi chase. What do you get when you take a stretchy band of fabric and remove all sense of shoulder support? A tube top. These minimalist marvels were popular among women for everything from beach days to backyard parties. No straps, no sleeves, just faith. And maybe some fashion tape. Tube tops made sure tan lines were out, and wardrobe malfunctions were always just one sneeze away. Leisure suits were the mullets of menswear. Business in the front, party all the way through. Made of synthetic materials and pastel hues, they were often worn with wide-collared shirts and gold chains.
And what's the point of wearing a leisure suit if you can't be leisurely?
You'd see them at weddings, discos, and shady used car dealerships. Polyester never looked so stretchy. Want to channel your inner lounge lizard? Grab a leisure suit costume or vintage-style blazer from the links below. The explosion of roller disco in the 1970s didn't just revolutionize dance floors. It created an entirely new fashion movement. Skaters traded in their denim and bohemian layers for a head-to-toe flash, embracing skin-tight spandex and eye-popping metallics, neon hues, and rainbow stripes that shimmered under the strobe lights. This was a look that blended the athleticism of a speed skater with the flamboyance of glam rock. Every spin, jump, or backward glide demanded an outfit that could keep up, both in movement and in sheer audacity. Balance was key, not just on wheels, but in pulling off head-to-toe dazzle without tipping into costume territory. Roller disco fashion was about confidence. If your colors didn't clash hard enough, you weren't trying. The 1970s embraced a free-spirited, globe-trotting aesthetic that turned closets into kaleidoscopes of ethnic chic. Flowing kaftans and Moroccan-inspired embroidery, vibrant dashikis adorned with West African motifs, and delicate Indian kurta tunics and hand-blocked prints became staples for the fashion-forward. While the intentions were often rooted in appreciation, the line into appropriation was blurry at best. Still, the fashion was flowing, colorful, and gave wearers a globe-trotting, earthy mystique even if they hadn't left their suburb. And there you have it, 15 bizarre, bold, and unforgettable fashion trends that made the 1970s one of the most iconic decades for style. From towering platforms to psychedelic prints, this was a time when fashion didn't whisper, it screamed. Which trend would you rock today? Let us know in the comments. Whether you're all in on bell-bottoms or just want to dabble with a crochet vest, we'd love to hear your favorite throwback fashion moment. If you enjoyed this blast from the past, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more retro throwdowns. And if you're feeling inspired, scroll down to explore our hand-picked affiliate links for vintage style finds, from disco threads to groovy accessories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay groovy and stay weird.